Well, I'm literally reading these. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to the Kings' best kept secret. Let's see if the 279 is correct, Chris. 279 says Keon Ellis best kept secret on the Kings, the defense, the attitude, the drive. Keon is top-notch role player, which you obviously need for a team like Team USA. I mean, there's a reason Derek White just got on and got more time than Tatum did. So 279 is doing both. We talked about Team USA. We talked about the best kept secret on each team. 279 says maybe Keon could make a push. And he says, or they say Keon is that underrated dog from the 279. But this is just best kept secret for the teams. There's no connection to Team USA per se. But you never know, 279. You never know. Okay, Chris, what you got?
Yes, the Kings' best kept secret is, in fact, Keon Ellis. This is, again, from Bleacher Report, their article headlining every single NBA roster's best kept secret. And we'll go through some of the big Kings opponents' big secret as well, so that is revealed so nobody's surprised when that person inevitably gets a career high against the Sacramento Kings, because that's what always happens. Keon Ellis emerged from obscurity last season to start 21 games for Sacramento, bringing a level of energetic hustle and defensive intensity they weren't getting from anybody else at the guard position, not named Davion Mitchell. Headed into the 24-25 season, in which Sacramento will be even more over-indexed on score-first players, Ellis is going to become more important. If the 24-year-old shoots anywhere near where he did a year ago when he canned 41.7% of his 2.9 triples per game, it's a huge bonus. Ellis's true value will be as a defensive force capable of hiding his teammates' weaknesses. De'Aaron Fox has the quickness and length to be a quality defender, but he always struggles to navigate screens and doesn't consistently summon the requisite effort to be a difference maker. DeMar DeRozan has been a subpar defender for his entire career. Malik Monk's focus is always on the offensive end, and Domantas Sabonis doesn't have the lift or the foot speed to survive as a rim protector or in space around guards. Ellis is a wiry 6'6" shooting guard, which means he can't cover for all of those deficiencies by himself, but the Kings will need him on the floor as often as possible to make sure DeRozan and all the rest aren't getting cooked quite so badly on defense. That is, again, from Bleacher Report on their every NBA roster's best kept secret for the 24-25 season. One Keon Ellis, still a secret, apparently.
I think we all would have probably guessed that from kind of national media to pick Keon Ellis. And I would agree with it. I mean, from that perspective, I guess we can still say ours, since obviously we are a little bit more in the weeds as far as the team is concerned. I mean, honestly, you're tempted to say, or I'm tempted to say Devin Carter, even though I haven't seen him play.
Sure, that's a good one.
Simply because we know he was supposed to be more ready-made than some of these other prospects. He's going to come in January. Nobody's going to have any film or tape on him at all in the NBA, and he could come in like a hurricane and just wreck games. So I think it could easily be, I can't say it with that much confidence because he hasn't played in the NBA yet, and he's got to get used to a lot of things. But I think as far as we're concerned, Keon Ellis ain't a secret in Sacramento. No. So that's not even an option for me. So out of the options that there are, I mean, dare I say, could you say the return of Kevin Huerter? Could that be a best kept secret? I mean, everybody's been pouring on this guy, myself included. You could go in the Kevin Huerter direction if he returns or gets close to returning to form. So there's definitely a lot of options here. But Keon, he is not a secret out here in Sacramento for us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, is just who are even the other candidates. I think Kevin Huerter's a good shout that I probably wouldn't have said initially, but you definitely made a good argument for it. Colby Jones, I think, is a decent shout, but I wouldn't. That would be hoping that Colby Jones is going to have a big season. Trey Lyles, you could say, if you want to just say he's underappreciated in his role. My answer, I think, would be Alex Len, but knowing that's, again, nationally, probably something that's going to get laughed at. But it's just Alex Len played really, really well. Like, I think, again, the thing that I think makes him a best kept secret is he's just so unassuming. Like, everybody knows the name Alex Len. I think a lot of people maybe remember that he got drafted super high, and I think he just appears to be this big 7-footer who is clunky and, is just getting there, is just out there because he's a big body. But we saw last year, like, he's a real player. He's a really good defender. He moves really well. He is a good screen setter. He's got some things to his offensive game in terms of, I think he does actually have a pretty decent mid-range jump shot. He doesn't show off often. And he also is pretty good around the rim as well. You look at his defensive numbers, all the net ratings and defensive ratings and things like that. He was towards the top of the NBA just in general. And then for people coming off the bench, was definitely one of the best in the NBA in terms of all of those numbers. I would say Alex Len is probably the Kings' best kept secret. But even then, it's not like Alex Len is really hyper impacting games. He's just a really, really solid player that I think people think is a scrub.
916-339-1140. Who do you think will be the Kings' best kept secret going into the 2024-2025 season? Could be DeMar DeRozan, according to national media, because it's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe it's a secret that it actually does work. Maybe it's that.
Yeah.
916-339-1140. Who do you think will be the Kings' best kept secret in 2024-2025? Coming up next, how much baseball is too much baseball? Is it